My name is Max Stretch, and I was a ski jumper for 8 years, but I recently, in the past few weeks, decided to leave. It was a decision that was kind of a long time coming, but even now, after recently leaving, I've noticed all the positives that have come with it, but also the negatives, and I want to further explore that in this documentary, so that's why I created it. To get a different perspective, I went to Claire Fuster. Claire is the mental performance consultant for the National Sports School, and she has been there for 18 years.
A lot of times people use the term quitting and it becomes a very negative connotation and become very stressful for people. So sometimes people have career-ending injuries. So that might be something like it's an abrupt, I need to leave my sport because of a career-ending injury, or possibly even injuries over time. So they've had numerous injuries and are being recommended by medical professionals, like this might not be a good idea for you to participate any longer. So injury is a big one. Also, when young people start to lose their mojo about their sport, they start to have different ideas around things that they might want to do. We often see people transitioning out of highly competitive sport, or maybe any sport, around 15 to 18. We know that there's a big drop around those ages. A lot of people start to realize that maybe it's not something that they want to do for the rest of their lives, or they want to dedicate their time into school and really getting some experience around that and being able to get to a school that they want to get to. So those are a few reasons. Some people leave sport because they don't get along with their coach anymore. You know, there's that possibility, or the association in general. You know, it might not just be the coach, but some of the organization. Some people leave their sport because there's just too much politics in it, and they're just not willing to deal with that anymore. So,
the next person I'm going to interview knew a lot about the struggles of leaving sport, and that's why I feel her perspective would be very valuable to this documentary.
Hi, my name's Jamie Lister. I was formerly an artistic gymnast for 15 years, and I've been at the sports school since grade 9.
Jamie, if you don't mind me asking, what are some of the reasons you decided to leave artistic gymnastics?
Partly was due to an injury, so I recently had shoulder surgery, which is a very long recovery process. Another big part of it was mostly just a change of heart. A lot of my friends quit at gymnastics, so I didn't have a lot of girls that I connected with when I was there. It was becoming a lot more of a job instead of something that I enjoyed to do, so I didn't want to be going to training. It felt like something that I had to do, not something that I wanted to do.
Definitely, when someone is even contemplating the idea of a transition out of their current sport into something else, whether it's sport or other parts of the life, is that real struggle with the identity piece. So, well, I was always known to be this. I was always a ski jumper. I was always a gymnast. I was always a track athlete. And so when that starts to come up, then they don't really know who they are.
When making the decision to leave sport, I always struggled with the thought of who I was going to be when I'm done, and I feel like it's a common struggle.
Before I didn't know what I was passionate about because I didn't have time to find these things. So just kind of figuring out like who I am without gymnastics it's been difficult, but it's also been a very good thing.
Another challenge is that they feel really connected to their family, or their family feels very connected to the sport. So they feel a little bit responsible, like I really should stay in sport because my parents have put so much energy and effort in that, and money, let's say, and they really wanted me to go to school, or they really, for my sport, or they really wanted this, so I should really try to stay in sport.
Definitely a lot of pressure from parents. It was a really hard decision to make just because I know how much my family has invested into the sport of gymnastics, and I know that they wanted me to get a scholarship, and that was something that they wanted me to do, and I did want to do that too, but it was mostly I wanted to do it for them. It wasn't for myself. So leaving the sport has kind of made me feel a bit guilty regarding my parents and stuff, so that has definitely been hard. For one, my body has had a lot of time to just recover. I had a lot of smaller injuries and stuff that I was trying to deal with while training like 30 hours a week at the same time, and they just weren't going away. And now that I've been done for about a month, I'm finding that a lot of them are just like slowly going away, and I'm in a lot less pain in general, which is really nice. I've also had a lot more time, obviously, to hang out with friends, connect more with people that I wasn't able to before, put a lot more effort into my school, so when I get home I have a lot of time to do my school instead of just like an hour and a bit before I need to go to bed again. And then like finding new passions as well. I'm allowing myself to do things that I haven't been able to do before, and I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do in terms of university, and yeah, just figuring out what I am passionate about.
So some of the real positives is they find passions in things that they didn't know they were passionate about because they didn't have time to do other things. They were so focused on just their sport. They find connections with other humans in the world that they didn't think that they'd have connections with because they just didn't have time to make some of those connections. Sometimes they find that they weren't really able to put their full strength and fortitudes into what they're currently doing, like school, at this age for sure. And so they really find that they can take time to do that and really excel at school. We also see some huge rest and recovery going on when people get some recovery time. Athletes often like to stay athletic and have fitness goals or try to do something different. I try to brainstorm with them and say, write out like 100 possibilities of things that you could do, and then just pick a few and just try them out and see what you think. So there doesn't have to be any like I have to do something with my life, but let's try some different things out that can be enjoyable.
Through the production of this documentary, I learned a remarkable amount about the gravity of the decision I was making and the parallels that can be drawn from not only the experiences of others, but the experience of those who help assist athletes in leaving sport. And I feel like this documentary helped me answer the most common question that I always get asked when I tell people that I left sport, and that's why. Why'd you decide to leave? And now I feel like I can give those who ask a full-hearted and true answer.